Okay, let's kick off with cleaning that 2007 Epiphone Les Paul Custom Chrome. I always want to snap strings off. Oh yeah, never done that before. Usually they break on their own or just take them off the regular way. But this is oddly satisfying. It's just so much faster. So first off, we're going to take as many parts as we can with our tools. First thing we're gonna try is to use just some warm water with a bit of dish cleaner and an old toothbrush and try to loosen that grimy, filthy residue that's on the fretboard. It helps a little bit, but that stuff is pretty persistent. So it's dirt of 18, 19 years. So I'm afraid we got to try something way more aggressive. So I tried ethanol, a white spirit, and that doesn't help either. That is really impressive. That dirt deserves some credit. Ted Woodford uses lighter fluid, as far as I know, but I don't have that on hand. So I'm afraid we got to do some scraping. So we got a razor blade here, like really the one used for shaving. And yeah, that works. Didn't expect to put that much effort into that guitar, but it is what it is now. So yeah, abrasion actually did help. The fingerboard got a bit lighter through the scrubbing and scraping, but I think that's okay. I just put some oil on already to remoisture the fretboard because I assume it never received any oil treatment ever in its life, and that should bring back the color and as well would give it some extra cleaning so that we'll loosen up some of the finer debris and dirt that's still on there. So gonna let them soak in. The tuner ferrules are pretty loose, so they pretty much come off by themselves without using any tools. That's interesting. That Les Paul, that Epiphone Les Paul does not have the typical Gibson style truss rod where you put on a nut on a kind of a bolt. Instead, it got a hex insert nut like you usually would find on, I don't know, maybe a Stratocaster, on a modern Stratocaster, or on any Japanese guitar. So that's different from the original Gibson. Let's see how the electrics look. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the output signal, so switches and pots should be clean. No surprises here. None of the screws seem to be stripped, which is no surprise since no one ever had looked inside here since it left the factory. Oh, quick connect and full-size pots. That's cool. Okay, the capacitors are cheap. I mean, that was expected. The cavity is not too clean, but it's okay. Mid-price Asian guitar. Yeah, it's alright. So, time to heat up the soldering iron and disconnect the pickups. That won't work well. So, here I got a basic harness removed. Jack. Tone pots, volume pots. I'm gonna save them for later. Don't think. Maybe gonna replace the cap. I don't know yet. Ooh. Gross. Epiphone pickup. Rhythm. The black wire. And I don't know. The frames are plastic. This is the bottom end strap pin. Incredibly rusty. So we got all the parts removed. And there it is. Stripped from all the hardware. So yeah, fretboard's cleaned already. I'll clean the body and definitely need to do some fret work. So let's see, some playwear here, and especially in the cowboy chord area. But those are still the original frets, so they've never been dressed. There's a lot of meat on them, so not 100% sure if I'm gonna recrown them. Definitely will receive some polishing. Yeah, nah, they will get a partial recrowning. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So the three most annoying parts or things about working on guitars is first restringing, second resoldering those big solder joints on the back of the parts, usually where all the ground wires go, and third recrowning frets. So, but this is what I'm going to do next. So, tape off the fretboard to protect it from the recrowning file and from the polishing compound we have to use later to make the frets shine. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So we'll just give the first 4 frets a bit of a recrown. That should be sufficient, I hope. So, as usual, we do a bit of sanding. Before we do polishing. Tedious work. That's always a good practice. All right. After the sandpaper, I'm gonna take that sanding sponge, working up to a finer grit, and doing more frets at a time. So something that might be quicker than polishing each fret individually is to polish them all together with the electric drill. Just polishing off the excess polishing compound, and I guess I'm good to remove the tape. So on other YouTube channels that do guitar restorations and setups, this usually looks way more satisfying. On channels, sorry. Their channels, the tape comes off easily and almost looks like peeling off those protective layers, like when you get a new flat screen or something. Yeah, that's good enough. So I've put in just some soapy water. Nothing too aggressive, and to give the body a basic cleaning. It doesn't have to be perfect, at least not for me. If it was for a friend, I probably would do like a proper polishing or something, but not really for myself. So something I just noticed while cleaning the guitar is there's very little damage. So the guitar is almost 19 years old, and there are almost no dings or divots or scratches or something. There's not even buckle rash on the back of the guitar. No scratches around the jack. No indications of wear or play around the controls. The only thing I noticed is that there was some play wear on the frets, and while I was pressing the frets, I noticed that went very smoothly. So I assume those are not even stainless steel frets. They're probably nickel. They're way softer than what I worked before. So we're done with cleaning and dressing the frets. So now we come to the first mod I'm gonna do in that guitar, and I'm gonna use this very fine sanding sponge, and I will kind of smoothen the neck. So it's a high gloss neck with black lacquer, and that looks super cool. I really like the looks, but it can get sticky because it's so glossy, and by roughing it up, it kind of will get this satin surface, which is way smoother to play because your fingers don't tend that much to stick. I probably would not do that on a real Gibson, but like on a budget Les Paul, I think that's okay. So yeah, here we go. Bit of a matte finish. That feels fast. I like that. It's not pretty, but it definitely improves playability. So here's a little fix that we're gonna do. So that hole was for mounting the pickguard, and I most likely will go without a pickguard. And if I would decide to put on a pickguard, I can drill a new hole, but I'm gonna plug that one. So while we wait for the glue to dry in that little plug for that hole, we can take some care of those metal parts. So I think that would be good just to go with the brush. Yeah, that's okay. That did the heavy lifting. And for the rest, I'm just going to use a metal polish compound. Just like new. So I think that little plug is cured enough. Just gonna use a bit of the chisel to smoothen the surface. So all we're gonna do is do a little touch up with a black marker. I'm gonna use a little bit of very thin super glue to touch that up. and to seal it. So I think we can already start the reassembly. Here's a little neat trick I learned about how to put in the screws of the pickup frames into the little brackets on the pickup. You can use a little crocodile clamp to hold up those springs. So I've installed the pickups and just heated up the soldering iron. And yeah, I think we're good to wire the pickups. The instructions said I should tape the leads, but I think we're gonna use some shrink hose. That's a bit cleaner. So I got the harness assembled. I did that off camera. Yeah, all the parts are connected. So I mounted and tested all the electrics off camera. And to my surprise, it worked at first try. So yeah, it's usually not the case. We're gonna tidy that up a little bit with a cable tie so it doesn't flop around inside the cavity. I gave the electronics cover some extra copper foil for shielding. After we took care about the part in the back, we can start dealing with the business in the front. So next thing would be to put in the tuning. We don't tie them down too hard, so just lukewarm. I won't bother to put on the original rusty strap pins. I don't remember then. I got this pair of Shala locking pins that should be more secure, especially when you play live on stage. Yeah, no, just leave it that way. I did something that you rather should not do, and that is asking the internet about their opinion. And I asked you what your opinion on the knobs. And it was pretty clear that people liked amber. Like no one said black. So yeah, we go with amber. All the hardware is on. I gave the fingerboard a little rub of oil again, off camera. I think we have to take care about the nut just a little bit. And then we put on a set of strings. I think I go with 11 to 56, so I can put it on a drop tuning. Here you have it in full glory. Amber 1. So yeah, put on the amber knobs. Replace the pickup frames, the pickups. Looks awesome. I did the stringing intonation off camera. You've seen that before, as well as the nut slotting. So yeah, action is good. The neck was super straight, so no neck adjustment. I just have to do some pickup adjustments in terms of the height, and maybe I can do a sound check later.